of Oklahoma, 12-0 and still looking for respect nationwide.
What's going on, Sooner Nation? Game just ended. Interesting game. Lot to discuss, I think. Haven't had a chance to get a hold of Barry. Obviously, guys, we didn't do a pregame show, and so I wanted to make sure post game we at least had an opportunity to do this now. We'll probably have a post pod between today and tomorrow. A little bit emotional right now, right? I think that game is a microcosm of who we are as a program right now, where we are. And if you were on Twitter, I mean, I probably was the most active I've been on Twitter all year. That was actually, I had a good time, man. Shout out to some of you guys for watching my Twitter feed. We had a lot of good dialogue. But we've got to discuss about it. We got to discuss a few things. Anyway, 10 thoughts, guys. I discussed the 10 things that are going through my mind at the end of every game. Shout out to OU Insider. They've given me a platform to have those conversations over there on 3. Shout out to Barry. Barry Mack Show is obviously the platform Barry and I have built the last 3 years. Today I'm going solo. Like I said, he and I may do something later on. And generally, when I do a 10 thoughts, we go position group to position group, offense, defense, scheme, coaching, things of that nature. I want to make sure I say this at the beginning. And listen, most of you guys who follow me or follow the show, you guys know me. We don't have a lot of noobs. I know we get about probably 100 new followers or subscribers a week or so or whatever, but most of you guys have been with us for a while. I tell the truth, man. And irrespective of the building, the coach, right, my allegiances, obviously, alumni, my natty ring is like right there. I never wear it. I need to wear it more. I gotta tell the truth, right? And when the defense is the issue, we're gonna talk about it. When the offense is the issue, we're gonna talk about it. When the scheme is the issue, uh, 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 um, I got a lot of flack. Earlier in the year because I said, I'm looking at the scheme and I'm waiting to see the meat and potatoes. I'm ready to see the diversity and the flexibility, the layers, how we build upon certain concepts that we build, right? I mean, listen, we can talk about position coaches. By the way, did the offensive line all of a sudden look like they could run block when X-Rob came in? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that people like, oh, beating both sucks. The offensive line sucks. Like part of it is the running back gotta make plays. Did X-Rob take a 3-yard gain and take a 65 to the house? Did he? Did X-Rob get in traffic and just kind of run through trash and be strong? Right? Like part of that is the player. Now, fundamentally, scheme-wise, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. Our scheme is trash. Especially when you compound it with the fact that we have an OC and a quarterback who both know this game inside out. That means we've got 2 brain trusts. We've got 2. We've got 2 brain trusts running a scheme that both know inside and out. They should have known. They should have their third and medium package, their second and medium package, their third and long package, their action package, their misdirection pack, all that stuff that you got to install. And I got to tell you guys, it's not like overnight where you can install. Let me give you guys context. If Arbuckle was in his first season with a brand new quarterback at a brand new university with brand new personnel, I would look at this scheme and say, it's a little vanilla, but I get it. I get it because it's not easy to, even in one off season, spring, summer, fall. Now week 9 of the current season, you kind of know who you are. And I can only speak of my experiences. Every year I was at OU, we know who we were. The 99 season was a little bit different than 2000. Obviously, going from Leach to Mangino. 2000 was a little different than 2001. We all of a sudden we couldn't run the football anymore. I like, but also hype knew how to get us in the right play. And this is the day and age before the offensive scheme was just called on the sideline 80% of the time, right? This was like the quarterback was the point guard at that time. Um, but I can't, I won't make that excuse in this scenario. Mateer and Arbuckle have been together 3 years. Am I correct? Right? They were together with Cam Ward and and Wazoo, right? Mateer was the backup, Cam was the guy. If you remember, Mateer and Cam, right? They had a relationship, and then Cam goes to UM, and Mateer's the guy last year. So this is year 3. This is year 3. So I can't sit and look at this scheme and say, "Oh, we've got to give them grace." My brother, I'm a big grace guy. I always say, "Give folks grace." I'm not giving this grace. I'm not giving this grace. I wrote down 5 or 6 plays, and I'm like, "This, it's just not good enough." Anyway, so this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna go through the positions because I do think there is merit to speaking to some things. Overall relativity, I think it's important to address the people who are saying the defense sucks, guys. That offense, that scheme, and that quarterback. Go back and listen to our pods a few weeks back, and I'm just telling you, Chambliss wasn't, or Trinidad, yeah, Chambliss wasn't the guy. Yeah, I said, guys, I gotta tell you, I was watching the Ole Miss play. The starter got hurt. The guy they brought was better. You know who he looks like? If you're an OG like me and a little bit younger than me, you know who that guy looks like exactly to me. Shout out to Brent Jackson, old teammate. We're texting during the game. You cannot tell me he doesn't look exactly like Russell Wilson at Wisconsin. Exactly. Same size. Russ had a little bit bigger arm, obviously. The kid can throw the rock. Did you see those corner routes? He's putting it right there. The same corner that Mateer missed on Kanik right at the end of the game. He's putting, and people are like, the DB suck. No, bro. Go back and watch. Peyton Bowen is right there. He's just running away. A corner route, the safety's inside technique. You can't get across his body if the ball's thrown over his other shoulder. That's just a great throw. That's a great throw. Kid looked exactly to me like Russ did when he was at Whiskey. By the way, I knew about Russ at NC State. A good buddy of mine went to NC State for a little bit when I was in college, and he said, "Hey, bro, we got a guy," and it was Russ at NC State before he transferred out to Whiskey. Um, but the defense, I was getting hell from people on Twitter like the defense sucks. No, no, guys, that defense made so many stops. Now, third down killed us. I think, and I don't want to critique BV too hard. It needs to be critiqued. We lost the game. But guys, on too many third and mediums, we started to see they're going to run QB draw, and we kept showing up pre-snap, and then we're literally taking ourselves out of the play and giving them easy lanes when they're 7 up pre-snap or 6 up, whichever one they were doing. I'm talking about our defensive front, right? You got the 4 down linemen or the 30 or 40 front, and then we've got the backers up. And at the snap of the ball, they're backing up. They create natural lanes. See, if the backers are at depth pre-snap, now the linemen have to come to them and the backers can scrape. But when the backers are backing up at the snap, it's easy for the offensive linemen to gobble up grass, right? And so that hurt us. I mean, how many third downs does he kill us? 5, 6, maybe. Uh, 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 Here's how I look at the game of football. I am not gonna discredit a player for balling when the other side of the ball is in a good position too. Like, I'm not going to say the defense is ass because, sorry, bro, play on that field and be asked to be on up on third and medium. And then at the snap of the ball, you're backing up and the offensive linemen are climbing on you and they're running QB draw. Good luck. Or play safety, inside technique, and have the inside guy run a corner route, and the corner is sinking. Our corner is sinking into it. The safety's right there. The quarterback puts it in the right spot. You can't, like, bro, none of y'all can stop that. I mean, obviously, right? Us fans, we couldn't. But I'm just saying, like, I look at that and I'm like, damn, that's good execution. To me, I'm not like our defense sucks. Our defense did not suck today. Did we miss some tackles? Absolutely. On third and medium, third and long, were we in compromising situations? I'm going to talk about scheme a little bit later. Yes. And did we pick the wrong thing or the wrong break go our way? Yes. I think it's big to say, right? The turnover issue. We're up. We're down 5. We finally get the stop. We're going to have the ball at the 50. Satania jumps. Somebody hit me on Twitter. I'm like, God, I promise, guys, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like somebody was like, damn, Mackie, you just said it a couple weeks ago that he be doing too much and trying to hot dog. Like, dang, I did say that, didn't I? Right? He has no reason. The game is not hinging upon that punt return scoring a touchdown. You're not a freshman, right? He should understand. Good job by him taking it up the sideline, getting some yards, but like fall down at the 45. It's all good. We have momentum. We're on the plus side of the field. We have 8 minutes left. X Rob is running that thing. That's also, and I obviously we'll talk about specials, but like that's right. How many people are like, yeah, that kind of kills our momentum. It kills our momentum. Heartbeat kills our momentum, right? But no, if you guys have ever done a 10 thoughts with me, you know we start at the quarterback. It's always the quarterback. And I was hard on DG sometimes. I was kind of a Jackson Arnold apologist until the very end. I'm not gonna lie. I left a lot of hope. I mean, there's certain things he did you couldn't excuse, but I have to say, Mateer did not play well. I don't want to hear anything about a thumb. I don't want to hear anything about a bum wheel or whatever the hell it may be. I don't want to. Now, I will say, um, the plays Mateer was asked to execute in terms of the scheme and going against the defense versus the plays Trinidad was asked to execute. Trinidad had the advantage. When I get to scheme, my biggest critique of the entire day is going to be the offensive coordinator scheme. By the way, some of you, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, some of you guys are gonna get mad at me. And then hopefully you're gonna go home and reflect. And some of you guys are gonna be like, screw DMack, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. But some of you guys are gonna say, huh, maybe DMack was kind of right when I talk about offensive position coaches, right? All of a sudden, the second half of the game, like did Beatonbow like all of a sudden learn how to have, by the way, our offensive line was moving their guys. Not only that, the running back ran the daylight, ran through trash, and because of that, the risk of running the ball, it gave the defense more to think about. It opened up more in the offense. We're going to talk about that too, because scheme wise, I'm just going. I'm scheme wise. I am going to critique the hell because when you get something to work in football, you put pressure on it. When you can run the football, watch this. Zoom chat. Work with me. Work with me. This ain't Zoom. I'm my bad. I trained my agents this morning. But chat, do me a favor. Let's just do football 101 before I know I got to go back to quarterback, but let's do football 101. You guys ready? I got 157 people live with me. If I'm coaching football, Pee Wee, junior high, high school, and I show the defense that I am able to run the ball, but let's just say for a half I couldn't. First half I can't run the ball. Just add more nuance to it. Second half, all of a sudden, I have the ability to run the ball. If I'm the offensive coordinator, what can I now do? What can I do? What can I do now? I'm the OC. I've shown them I've got a running back that'll run through you. We scored a 65-yard touchdown. We got a running back running through traffic. What now does that open up for me? Somebody put PA, right? Like, can somebody help me understand how do we not in the second half run action? How do we not consolidate the game where, wait a minute, we got this kid who they can't stop him. Guys, they could not stop X Rob. Granted, he didn't get 39 carries, right? But how do we not just, there's two answers. There's two answers. Answer number one is run the ball again. That's answer number one. If in the first half I can't run, and all the second in the second half, we are having success. Somebody brought up Ozita. You guys noticed that 55 played most of the second half. The first thing I'm going to do is run it. Not only did we not keep running it, okay, right? So we run the ball 2 consecutive. I don't know if it's 2 consecutive or 2 out of 3 drives in the third quarter. We're going into what is that? Our west end zone? I don't know. North and south. Listen, guys. Hey, I was a math teacher. Okay, I promise you, I'm good with numbers and good with money. Those are the things God blessed me with. I don't know directions and all that geography stuff. I had to have people help me in my geography classes at OU. But I know I should know the end zones. I know. Sue me. They can't stop us. Third quarter, running the football. They literally couldn't stop us. We bust one and then we drive down the field and right. We're doing well. The first thing we need to do when we can run the football is put pressure on their neck. Why do we stop? And we didn't even stop to do the things we're good at. If I would have asked the chat, like, what's the one thing, Michigan game when we needed to do it, Auburn game when we needed to do it, right? When all of a sudden we can't progression throw anymore, we're like, man, is our offensive line so terrible we can't progression throw? We knew we could hang our hat on what? Quick game. We didn't even run quick game. Like, what the hell are we doing? I was lost. I was lost. Arbuckle did call. Don't get mad at me, y'all. He called a better second half than he did first half. The first half was atrocious. The first half was an abomination. There's no rhyme or reason. Here's the other thing that's irritating, and I'm gonna go to running backs next. But I guess it confirms what we all knew, so I guess I can't be that upset. Hot hand, right? They kind of go with the hot hand. Blaylock's getting all these carries, and by the way, no, I don't think there's a diss to Blaylock. It's not his fault. They called delay on the 2-yard line. By the way, those 2 points are very big. Without those 2 points, we don't have to go for 2, so we kick a field goal. That subtracts 3 points. You guys with me? Now, if we don't have those additional 3 points that we're chasing, right? They might kick a field goal. Not anyway. I don't even want to talk about chasing points because it drives me crazy. The thing I want to say is this: our quarterback missed the throws, and here's what really makes this thing crystal clear. The same corner out we missed to Kanik, he completes to Watkins twice. Beautiful balls. We're laboring, right, and pissed at our defense. I'm telling you guys, it's hard to cover. Let me see if I'm on my old computer. If I was on my new computer, I'm gonna draw it up. I'm gonna chalk this tomorrow. I'm gonna explain to you guys the angles. But think about it. If you've got a receiver on the outside and you've got a safety in the middle of the field, and the receiver is always just running away from the safety can't get across him if the quarterback leads him away. It's impossible with a great throw. Go watch those corner routes that he throws. And then watch the end of the game, fourth down. Canik's running the same corner. Canik's a little more open that because Mateer could lead him to the sideline more like an out. Put a little bit more air, throw it a little bit farther out, and Canik can get running because there's no corner sinking underneath it. He just misses. By the way, I don't want to play the what if game either. I don't want to play the what if game, but I'm just telling y'all, go back and watch the very first play of the last drive. And we've got Giovanni Gibson running the go route against a hard cover 2. The corner doesn't carry, and the safeties, there's a window where Giovanni has the ball and Mateer just airmails it. Listen to me. If Mateer throws at him, and Giovanni's just able to just jump cut on the safety, it's a touchdown. I'm not saying that's guaranteed if the safety's a stud and understands angles, but if you've played football, if you understand the game, and you go back and watch the play, the whole throw is there, and that safety is in a bind. There's too much space for him to make a play, so the safety has to decide: am I going to take the angle to where he's going to be after he catches the ball, or am I going to try to attack him? It's him and Giovanni 1v1. If Giovanni catches it and has any type of wiggle, if he steps out of it, it's a touchdown. And we don't even the ball's not even it's in the first seats of the stadium, right? The guy 5 yards out of bounds couldn't catch that ball. It's bad. I wish Barry was on here because I don't want to hear shit about Mateer versus Baker in a foot race. I think Baker leaves him in the dust. um I understand, people are like the QB draw sucks. Here's what I know, or here's what I presume. Teams understand that with our offense, psyche being such that they don't believe they can run the ball. If I'm watching film of OU and I'm on defense, I'm a backer, I'm a safety, I'm a coach. When I watch film, the film tells me OU doesn't think they can run the ball. That makes sense to you guys? If I'm the defense, I'm like, oh, they don't have a level of commitment. And this is why my issue is such. All of a sudden, X Rob comes in and we can run the football. I think Ole Miss was more concerned about us continuing to run the football than we could believe that we could actually run the football. That's what I believe. Here's why. Because if you watch the Georgia game last week, I watched the entire second half. Oh, that's not true. I watched the third quarter and the fourth quarter. I saw where Ole Miss could not be stopped. And then I said, what did Georgia do? Right. And everyone talks about how Georgia got the stops on defense. Our defense got plenty of stops. That's not why. That's not why Georgia won the game. Those of you who watched the game know Georgia won the game because Georgia told at Ole Miss, even if you score, you can't stop the run. And when Georgia was able to consistently run the ball, you know what they were able to consistently do as well? Pull the ball out. And those of you who said the second thing that you should do once you can confirm you can run the football is run play action. Ole Miss's guys didn't have a chance. They didn't have a prayer. They had no chance because they already couldn't stop the run. And then that OC was cooking up on any given down. We pulling the ball out. We run in action. We pulling the ball out. By the way, Georgia's quarterback's a better athlete than ours. That kid's leading the team in rushing TDs, and most of them are on plays very similar to how we want to get Mateer in space and let him be an additional runner. He had a great throw to Satania first quarter. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, his deep balls." I think today he further confirmed his throws down the field are an issue. I don't want to hear about the thumb. I don't want to hear about the thumb at all. Okay. That ball that again, Giovanni's is the last possession of the game. I'm going to cue that play up. I think that play is a big play. I think the play is a touchdown. Somebody might say, Mac, you're wilding. And maybe I am a little bit, but I just know how those plays are. If the quarterback does, it's called a shot throw, right? It's a ball. You have to put it in the hole, right? It's a timing throw. The timing was actually really good. The timing's good. It's the trajectory of the ball. It's literally like when it gets to where Giovanni is, it's still going up. That's problematic, right? It's literally eight feet over his head. Yes. Oh, here we go. Somebody said it, and I got to speak to this. Again, offensive line. I'm not there yet. Mackie, the offensive line sucks. How many times did Mateer create trouble for himself trying to retreat versus simply stepping up? It's not good. It's not good. Pasusi got beat a few times off the edge, but with speed. He did. There are plenty other times where they are adequate. I would say at par with Ole Miss's team, and our quarterback is trying to leak out left or leak out right and not just step up, set his feet, make a decision. Then there's the issue of he escapes, right? And as a D1 quarterback, right? I would always remember our coaches would talk about the quarterbacks escaping the pass or escaping the throw or escaping to be a threat. Far too many times when Mateer escapes, it looks like he's escaping. It looks like he's escaping to be a threat in some capacity, but far too many times he doesn't understand he's a quarterback and not wasting a down, losing yardage, trying to like juke people in the backfield. Hey, bro, when you break and leak left and you break contain, by the way, good job beating that D end who's coming for you. Stop, set your feet, scan the field, throw it away, or throw it to a player. Don't do it again and take another sack. It's and by the third time, that's on you. That's on you. The first time, right, he's trying to make a play, gunslinger. The second time he had success with the one Satania scores a TD, but really he's just standing in the pocket. He didn't have to escape. But the third time and the fourth and the fifth, you're escaping. You beat the edge. You beat the edge defender. You beat the outside backer overhang. Whoever that person was, you've got to stop, set your feet, scan the field, throw the ball. And I'm not here to beat up on the kid. Um, I believe this game is, mind you guys, this is like right after the game is ended. I'd say it's equally as bad as Texas. I almost was going to say worse, only because he could have put his stamp on this game to win the game. Texas just felt like with the injury, you know what I'm saying, that it was a different, I think, and the defense, there was no hope. There was no X-Rob, right? There was no 65-yard TD that gave us a sense of, oh, okay, we got some action. This game we had action. And I think between our quarterback and our offensive coordinator, um, we shot ourselves in the foot. Failing grade from a tier. And generally a failing grade for me is a 69 or lower, right? But I think today it's gotta be. I don't think he was 50. I think he was 48%. Somebody said we got exposed. I don't believe. I don't believe we got exposed. I don't believe that. We're not gonna play teams. Um, so let's go through the rest of the schedule. And here's why I say we didn't get exposed. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Oklahoma football schedule. There it is. So check me out. We got Tennessee next. Is that right? We got Tennessee next. Hear me out. One, Tennessee's offense is not as potent as Ole Miss. Two, Tennessee's quarterback cannot do what Ole Miss's quarterback can do. We get at least 3 or 4 more stops on defense on third down with Aguilar. By the way, Aguilar is probably a little bit better athlete than Mateer. Maybe if they're both healthy, they're neck to neck. I just feel like Mateer doesn't have quick twitch. The one play he gets outside and he gets like a 17-yard scramble going down their sideline, you could see the speed starting to come. And he's got COD. COD stands for change of direction. The change of direction isn't bad. It's the quick twitch. It's the Trinidad. It looks like Kip or Powers or Heineke or whoever is going to get him, and he can just squirt through there because he's moving with explosion, right? With Mateer, it's more of a build up. It's kind of like an Oldsmobile trying to race against a Tesla. You don't even have to say Ferrari anymore. Isn't that crazy? Those of you guys who own Teslas understand. You put your foot on the gas, it's rolling. Boom, you're out of there, right? Many of the other Qs have the ability to just explode. Mateer doesn't. And that's why he doesn't get through traffic. I also think that speaks to the difference in competition in the Pac-10 at Wazoo and the SEC. I don't think he's seen bullets flying this fast, this big, this consistently where he comes from. I don't believe that. But I look at the schedule and I say Tennessee cannot duplicate what Ole Miss can at the quarterback position. The problem is they got 2 receivers. And by the way, the corners held up today. Guillory, bald. We'll get to the DB position. Safeties, I saw people asking about RSJ. Guys, they played bad the first half. All those guys played pretty damn good the second half. I can't really say, their 1 touchdown in the second half, by the way, was schemed up amazing by the coordinator. And on that drive, it was 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. They ran QB draw. We were showing up pre-snap and we were backing up at the snap of the ball and we were creating natural running lanes. And that's why they were able to get it. That's literally the chess match that happened in that 3rd quarter. So I don't want to beat up on the DBs too much. They did some terrible things in the first half. Second half, I think they cleaned stuff up. I think our DC was able to scheme up what to do to stop their offense much better than the second half. They just happen to have the best player on the field getting the ball every carry of the game, except for some boneheaded stuff that Lane did earlier. But then we go Missouri. No. We've got Tennessee. Quarterback is not going to be able to do what Chambliss can do. We've got Bama. If we can't get to the quarterback, we're in trouble. The beauty is we can genuinely get to the quarterback. Ty Simpson will carve us a new one if we let them run them in cuts and them corners. Oh, he'll and we'll see what our safeties can do in that game. Tennessee is going to be a lot of pressure on the corners. Alabama is going to be a ton of pressure on the safeties. Then we've got Mizzou. Mizzou, I think, is kind of like a a Lady Lee or a Timu or a Sheen version of Ole Miss. They can run that rock. The beauty is we stop the run pretty damn good. Their quarterback is solid, but he's not Trinidad Chambliss. And then we got LSU. I think LSU is the easiest game on the schedule. And I think A&M is going to hurt their feelings again today. I think LSU is the easiest game on the schedule. I don't care that people say no, Missouri. Missouri's going to be able to run the football, and their quarterback is a dual threat guy. I watched them play 3 or 4 games this year. I think, and Missouri's defense is adequate. They got some tough guys. I believe the easiest game left on the schedule is Oklahoma, and then I'd say the toughest game is take your pick between Tennessee and Alabama. We got them both at their place. Both of those games are going to be tough games. Quarterback guys, I give him a 48. That's what he gets. Running backs, yeah, I think it was really good to see X Rob play well. I don't. Again, I'm not trying to seek credit or whatever, but I'm just saying I watch enough football, and I'm not surprised he made those plays. But those are the plays that make a decent O-line look terrible when a not as naturally talented running back is stealing reps. All right. And I'm probably beating a dead horse here, but that's why an X Rob needs reps early in the year and Barnes needs less. Remember when I said if a defense watches film, they're saying our O-line doesn't think that we can run the ball? If X Rob's back there all year or more reps all year, the O-line is like, oh, we're studs. What you think has a big part to play in how you perform. When we, the internet, social media, right, content, all that stuff consistently tell people, oh, the O-line is trash, Bow's trash, this player's trash, that player's trash. And again, that's not me. I'm just speaking for the sake of the masses. Part of that becomes a part of their identity. If the running back coach and the offensive coordinator plays the right player who the play X Rob scores, it's not blocked. It's blocked to get you 3 yards. It's blocked to get you 3 yards. I don't know if you guys saw the replay. X Rob, his natural instincts felt that safety get out of his gap. If you guys saw, the safety's got C gap. He's coming alley. The safety kind of sees where X Rob wants to go, so he crosses face into the B gap. X Rob senses it, guys. That's natural ability. If you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. He sensed that safety left that void. He spun out and ran to the void. Touchdown. Now, let's just say X Rob's a running back. And by the way, not take nothing away from Blaylock, but let's just say X Rob's the guy. 30% more reps. And because of that, who knows what our yards are for the year, but maybe 2 or 3 more hundred yards. The offensive line says we're not terrible. The fans say we're not terrible, right? Everybody says, oh, the offensive line is much improved. Guys, that plays a part. It's a part of the mental aspect of the game. And then it takes me back to our OC today, because today in the second half, if you guys saw what I posted on Twitter, did anybody see I said ironically? I said the best play we ran the second half of the game, after all the stuff we talked, after how terrible they looked, anemic, crossface, safety. Y'all know what the best play of the second half was? Chat, tell me what the best play in the second half was. Those of you who were watching Twitter with me, so Cherokee Chiefs laughing because they know. What was the best play? Second half, what was it? Isn't that crazy, Tony? That's wild to me. The best play of the second half was hand the ball to X Rob. Now, how do we process that? All the smack we talk about our offensive line coach. How do we process that? All the smack. I guess we got to even say DeMarco, right? Finally, you put the kid in. If the play isn't blocked perfect, we can still get some money. And voila. Aaron said the O-line wasn't the issue. That's not what the rumors are in Sooner Nation. But that's my whole point. That's why when people are like, no, Mackie, they suck. It's the offensive line, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. But I said this to somebody today on Twitter. I said, you know what complaining to the offensive line is like to me? Here's what it's like to me. It's like going to Walmart, walking to the meat section, and buying a beef chuck 2 weeks ago and sticking it in your freezer. And then 2 weeks later, firing up the grill, getting all your ingredients and cooking it and wondering why it doesn't taste like filet mignon. When the season ends, oh, we're going to talk personnel. We're going to talk with talent. We're going to talk, right, portal. We're going to talk recruiting. But right now, Beatenbow, Murray, Arbuckle, BV, they know what our ingredients are. There's no way in heaven you run an outside delay where you're hoping the tight end wham blocks across the formation to the play side. Usually you're asking the tight end to block backside because you're quick hitting. On the safety, is it Helms 18? He's trying to lead block on the 2-yard line. Guys, okay. Our center gets housed. Oh, he got housed. But in what world does that make sense that our offensive line, or excuse me, our offensive coordinator is calling that play? I have to seriously question what the hell we're doing when that's the play. And then obviously we find out in the third quarter, well, damn, extra op should have been in the game anyway, right? Like that whole thing to me is just, it's, you know what it is? It's reactive versus proactive. It tells me during the week there isn't a clear and defined plan and vision that has created certainty. Ole Miss's 4th and short, certainty. Our 4th and short, it looked like a Chinese fire drill. We literally did move, motion across. By the way, go look who the receiver is. The receiver is 82. What does that tell the defense? Trick play, something abnormal, what they're doing something different. By the way, we're under center. What are we under center? What does that tell the different? What does that tell the defense? They're doing something different. They're doing something different. They're 4th and short. You know what they do? They run trips to the wide side of the field. They run a bunch formation. They pre-snap. He looks to the side and says, oh, they've only got 2 defenders out there. The play is designed for the 2 up receivers to create a shield, and he just throws the ball to an angle where he can catch the ball 2 yards of field. Guys, that's a scheme. If our guys are running that play on our 4th and short, and their guys are running our play on their 4th and short, the results would flop. That's coaching. That's coaching. And again, some of you guys have seen me. I've been on Rivals since I was 20, whenever Austin Box's year. I think that's the 07, 08, around that time. And if you know how I am, I am hard on players because I played the game and I understand like you got to make plays. But guys, that's coaching. Our 4th down play is essentially a trick play. It's a play we wouldn't otherwise won within the landscape of our offense. Versus their play, it looked like any other play schemed up, designed to get 3 yards when you need it. I don't think we're going to be lucky to win 3 more games. Their quarterback is the reason they were able to dominate, and we don't play another quarterback as good as theirs the rest of the season. In terms of if our O-line can dominate if our D-line can dominate the other team's O-line. If we can't dominate Tennessee and Bama, trouble. Because I do think there are some issues with our safeties and coverage, and we'll discuss that. But guys, the running back position, I got to give it an 80. I would even say an 85. And I would even say if you're speaking specifically of X-Rob, you got to give him over a 90. The kid was as impactful for us the second half as their quarterback was for them the entire game. Kid got 100 yards on like 15 carries, 65 yards to the house, outran everybody to the end zone, ran in trash. Did you guys see those the plays in the fourth quarter? I think we ran the ball with him like 3 times in the fourth quarter, which is wild to me. All right. But running backs overall, I didn't see them be primarily responsible for a sack. I don't know if maybe X-Rob checked himself into a pass route when he should have stayed in. I don't know if, right. So there's certain things that we don't know in terms of their checks. But I think it's pretty safe to say X-Rob and Blaylock needs to get the lion's share of the cherries, period. I think based upon how Murray has been doing the rotation, and maybe this is Arbuckle's thing because it wasn't like this last year. I think now next week, needs to be the first running back out the huddle. And Blaylock needs to be the guy who's who's, giving him the change of pace. So we'll see how that goes. Receivers. Let's go linemen first. And I think this is an important one to discuss. And I promise you guys, I don't know, and I still don't know, but I understand how much the plays being called impact the results that you get. Like I can't express enough how much Leach's plays impacted our ability to catch the ball. Right? We were put in positions to be successful. We put defenses in compromising scenarios. And that leads me back to the offensive line. They are who they are. I said week 2, we need to just run more quick hitters. Right? You run a dive technique. You run an inside zone where you're doubling on one and you're climbing to the backer. You run duo. Last week we ran a bunch of duo. I don't know. I didn't see it. I have to watch the game again. But we are literally moving that 0 or that 3 out of the hole, climbing up. Right, a little bit different. Right. Today they ran a little bit more trap concepts with the line. So there are a couple plays where you see the tight end come across and wham block, right? So when the tight end is kind of covering the backside, it's called a wham, or that's one of the terms people use for it. But a trap block is where the guard, the uncovered guard or tackle backside, right, is doing the same thing. And we ran that a few times today. Again, those are gap scheme concepts, right? We talked about us primarily being an RPO zone read team. So just seeing more introduction of that was interesting. It was interesting to see. Here's the thing that irks my soul. The RPO works when the quarterback is a true threat. I don't think any SEC team, I think the SEC teams watch the Michigan game and say, what the hell were they thinking? How did they let this kid run all over? I really think all the SEC teams watch that film like, bruh, if Buddy is able to do that against us, we trash. That's how we will be in film, guys. We watching film, and you watch a DB. Iowa State has some trash DBs. Baylor has some trash DBs. Texas Tech actually had a good DB, although I bombed his ass to the house. But like we're watching games, right? And we're like, bruh, if Buddy can cover you, bruh, you got to go off for the rest of the game. Like I'm telling you, this is how guys watch film, right? I guarantee you, every SEC team is saying, how the hell did Michigan let him get however many yards he got, but all those first downs? Because I don't think any QB draw worked. I don't think any QB run game, like the actual play being called, worked. I don't think one of them. Come on, big homie, don't do that. Big homie, you been drinking? That's my dog on OU Insider. Big homie Jay, you been drinking? Keep it a buck. Let me know. Yeah, don't just come out here and spam and say everybody sucks. Definitely Mateer played terrible today. Terrible. Definitely Arbuckle. If anybody, my biggest critique is Arbuckle. My biggest critique is Arbuckle. The kids, it, yeah, we paid a lot of money for Mateer, so I big homie Jay, I'm gonna get with you on OU Insider. But no, I this is why I have not been as bad on the O line as others. What to all the people who say the O line are just trash? What do you say about the second half? How do you process that? How do you process all of a sudden they can't even stop us from running the ball? And I would even say on most of the sacks, I would say Mateer created his own problems. All he has to do is step up, make a decision, and throw. It's not like, except for that one. Did you guys see the one I posted on Twitter? I actually feel kind of bad. I feel like, dang, I kind of made a kid because I posted a video of our center getting housed. Like it's not a good rep. That rep in film, yeah, it's gonna be one of those ones you gotta own that L, bro. I mean, the D tackle like literally like dropped him like a domino, then like stampeded over him, and then like is right in Mateer's face in like 1.1 second. It's not a good rep for him. It's not a good rep. I will talk about EPL. Second half, EPO was climbing onto those backers, being physical, keeping his shoulders square, giving the running back a two-way go. I just think it was a really good chemistry between X-Rob and those young pups. I think that's very promising to see the way he was able to just very seamlessly dance within the A and B gap, get small, get physical, run through trash. And I agree. I think EPO played the last 4 possessions, right? I also saw 54 get cross-faced. Oh, the safety. No, no, that's the center. It's not 50. There's another play. 54 gets cross-faced really, really, really bad. But guys, the offensive line, in my opinion, and you can disagree. You can disagree. I think they were adequate today. I think we gave 5 sacks, maybe something like that. 4 or 5 sacks. But guys, 3 of them minimum are just material trying to play schoolyard football. If he just makes a decision, sets his feet, even if he just throws the ball out of bounds, we're in better position. The offensive line was not terrible in the pass pro, and all of a sudden we get a running back that is formidable, big and strong, and can run through trash, and all of a sudden they're adequate. It brings me to something that Nick Saban always said. If you guys remember when Nick Saban was the coach at Alabama, he would say we won't recruit a kid unless they fit certain measurables. I don't know if you guys ever saw that article or that interview he did, but he said that he doesn't care how dynamic a running back is in high school if he's not at least 5'10", 205. If you're not 5'10", 205, he doesn't want you. If you're a receiver and you're not at least 6'1", well, I don't know the exact numbers, but my point is there's something to be said about when X-Rob comes in. And again, we've said this. When X-Rob comes in, all of a sudden, plays where backers just feel real comfortable coming to put their face mask in your chest. They don't really put their face mask in his chest like they do other players' chests. It's because measurables, right? He's 6'1", 227 pounds, whatever the hell he is. He's built like a bigger, more girthy player. And then all of a sudden, guys bounce off of him. O-line, guys, I'm going to give the O-line a 76 because I do want them to be rounded up. I want the conversation to be around scheme. Today left me hungrier saying, well, wait a minute. There are things our offensive line can do well. You can't tell me with a straight face, with a sober face, maybe if you're drunk or high, but you can't tell me with a sober, healthy face that the O-line is totally incompetent. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. You know what I buy? 3rd and 1, we just run dive. We don't run motion. We don't run misdirection. We don't run some type of waggle action away. You know what I'm saying? Jet sweep for people to look at. On our 3rd and 1, I think it's the first possession of the game, we just run dive. 11 guys. The quarterback never turns his back to the defense, so people have to guess where the ball is. A receiver never goes across the formation and we show the ball here and then we turn the ball here. It's just dive. And then on their 4th and 2, is it the 4th and 2? It's one of their 4th downs. It's not the first. It's not the first one where they ran the bunch. Guys, it's 4th and a half foot in the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter. Guys, go watch the play. And this is what I say when I say our defense was not facing what their defense was facing. Guys, if you watch that 4th, it's 4th and a half foot, 4th quarter. No, it's 3rd quarter. It's 3rd quarter. But we've got them in 4th down. They run. Quarterback turns around, act like they're running power to their sideline. The up back crosses the formation behind the line of scrimmage. The receiver is setting a screen. The quarterback rolls out, throws it to the running back. Guys, our defense, the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd option, we canceled all 3. Like the level of difficulty that our defense had to have on that play, our D-line wins at the line of scrimmage. If they're running the ball, it's going to get tackled. Then it's, I want to say it's either Heineke or Powers coming off the edge. If the quarterback is trying to keep the ball, it's canceled. Then they're throwing the ball to the up back who crosses the formation at the height of the ball. So he's like a fullback, but he's offset the other side. He comes across the formation. Watch our DB. He's this close to making the play. Like our defense has to play perfect, and they almost did. And then the guy gets 6 yards, but they get the first. My point is, on their 4th and short, look at all the stuff our defense has to do, and they mostly did it. And then on our 3rd and 1, we just run dive. To me, that's not our O-line sucks. Goes back to my Walmart analogy. If in September I bought beef chuck from Walmart, I am not going to expect that offensive line can just line up and move people. In what world? Why isn't there action, misdirection, quarterback turns around? Why? I don't know. I don't know. By the way, you guys go back and watch it. Fourth and a half yard. They get like 8 yards on the first down, and then we stop them. It's 4th down, and I'm upset because they get it, but I'm also like, wow, such a good scheme, such good scheme, so hard. 4 different dudes have to do their job and win to stop them versus our dive, where, by the way, does anybody know who the best player is on the Ole Miss team, on the Ole Miss defense? It's their 3 technique. He's their best player. So on our 3rd and short, we just, hey, now let's take our center and run right at him. Guys, that's not the players. It's the players January, February, March, right? Portal season, recruiting season finishes up, right? And then that, I don't know if they still have the late portal season, but right now, you're I'm not gonna sit here and say Ozita, like Ozita is our guy for now. Obviously, EPO replaced him. All right. Offensive line, guys, I'm giving him 76. Sue me. I think it was interesting that Kanik was less and less and less involved. I think as the year progresses, his inability to be competent in blocking limits our ability to play him, because it makes it a very clear signal that if he's in, it's probably a pass play. Or, you know what teams are saying now? Oh, he's probably going to go in motion and wham block. Probably going to go in motion and wham block. So you have to have a Helms, and then of course Helms gets cross face on the safety. And if you go watch the play, he wanted no part of Buddy. He wanted no parts of him. And then the backside overhang is killing it anyway. The overhang makes the tackle, but the D tackle makes the play. Yeah, our offense, I don't even think it's too predictable. It's just too light in the ass. Our offensive scheme is light in the ass. And then it feels like our quarterback is not giving it a chance to do what it needs to do. I'm sure you guys saw what what's my guy's name, play for Bama. He was our play-by-play guy today. But Arbuckle Mateer doesn't take the in and out slant on 4th and goal, or the 4th down, right? We got the 4th down. He tries to force that ball to Giovanni, and Satania is running the in and out. It's wide open. Slant return, whatever you want to call it. Like, how do you not take that play? Right? Receivers, last but not least, I don't want to hear. So I didn't see any film. I saw Giovanni Gibson's film when he was transferring in. I liked it. McElroy, thank you. Yes, I liked it. I haven't seen any of the amazing things people have said about him. I think that Mateer hasn't given him a chance to shine. He looks like a good X. I saw Cavante make some good plays when he was in there. I think Giovanni can also make some good plays, but he's just a guy for me right now until he shows me otherwise. Burks made some tough plays today for us. I just think in a limited offense, it doesn't give him a lot of opportunities. He's running spot routes. Spot routes are slant sits. A spot route means we're running somebody. And again, I'll do a chalk talk and I'll show you guys. A couple of his catches are we're running a back to the flat, and we're stretching that flat defender, and then he spots up in the open area. It's a slant stop, spot route, whatever you want to call it. You might run a corner behind it, then it turns into a triangle read where you just can pick half the field, and you got 3 guys to high low. Again, when I talk, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But like, I don't see him winning on digs, corners, posts. Like, where is he like beating a receiver, a DB, and like demanding the ball because he's open? right? I want to see that. Yeah, I agree. I want to see more Kearney in those. I mean, but the receivers aren't the issue, right? Satania plays well in the slot today. Obviously, he scores a big time touchdown, which is good for him. And then he's got a big time goal route that he catches early in the game. He kills us on that punt. I think that play is the game-changing play. We're only down 5. We're at the 50-yard line. I think we're going to put all the pressure in the world on them. We probably run the football, take 3 or 4 minutes off the clock. Anyway, I digress because it's all revisionist theory. But as a receiver adequate, I mean, they're not getting a 70 because none of those guys are like difference makers who like make teams suffer. Satania makes a great play on a half scramble. I'll give them an 80. Do we have any drops? I don't remember any drops. I don't remember any drops. The S, yeah, I know, right? All those SC guys. Uh, I hate Texas's coach. Anyway, um, the tight ends, they don't get to go at the O line because the O line plays substantially better. And I mean, they were mixing it up in those runs with X Rob too. Tight ends are adequate. Whatever. Let's talk defense. I think the defense you have to grade them by half. I think in the first half the defense was still a 78. We couldn't get off the field on third down, which was very difficult. Um, did you guys see how fast he got away from the 22 starters? Did you guys notice that? A lot of people were hitting me on X today. Oh, bro, Kit plays essentially the whole game. Thank you. People kept saying to me, and again, Barry, I'm not trying to hate, but Barry's been like, McKenzie's in cement in that game. That's why you guys see Owen Heineke play substantially more. Owen Heineke's a 4 or 5 guy. Missed some plays, made some plays, but those 22 starters was out the window, right? We started rotating based upon guys needing a breath of air versus arbitrary possession. So it was interesting. A lot of people were like, Mac, yeah, I didn't see that. I think a lot of people have been paying attention to that, which is kind of funny. X Rob had 100 yards on 9 rushes. And he got most of that in the third quarter, and we didn't run the ball with him much in the fourth quarter. To me, that's I don't want to say a fireable offense, but that is blasphemy as a coordinator to have your running back having that much success in really just a quarter of football and not go back. Did Kobe get hurt? Got it. That's I didn't know that. But I did know that Heineke came in and played the lion's share of the mic reps. They kept Kip at will, and then you saw Samuel get some reps in there. I'm not going to critique them too hard. They missed some stuff. Samuel, did you guys see the play? It's third and medium, it's 3rd and 7, and they talk. Oh, Peyton Bowen's playing too far off. No, Samuel's supposed to buzz the flats. Samuel has his eyes in the backfield. He's playing that overhang, and his job at the snap of the ball is to get to the flat. He should have gotten underneath that route, and he could have got a pick, if not be there to make the play. Samuel's eyes are in the backfield for sure, 100%. And you can see Peyton come up to him like, "Hey, bro, you supposed to be in the flats," because Peyton's kind of playing the deep safety on that side of the field. But what I do think it speaks to is too much zone. On Twitter, I said it. Our defense does not enough play man, put pressure on the other team, and speed up the quarterback's clock. That is the tried and true defense of all the best SEC teams. On money downs, you either show man press and say, my D line is going to kick your O line's ass or make your quarterback make a quick decision, or you play tight pre-snap and then you get out of it after the snap so the quarterback doesn't just get to know pre-snap where they want to go. What it looks like to me is that Valai gives the DBs the opportunity to pick how they want to play coverage pre-snap. And I don't mind that part. What I do have an issue with is showing off 9 yards pre-snap on 3rd and 5. How about start at the line of scrimmage cocked, let's say 2 yards. And then at the snap of the ball, you bail. That way, we're not just giving them the timing route. When you give them the timing route, the quarterback knows the exact spot. He's going to run 3 steps. He's going to dip his head. He's going to drop his shoulders. The ball's going to be 2 yards outside his shoulder. He's going to catch it with his hands. Boom. They rep that religiously. But if there's a potential for bump, the quarterback says, okay, my guy has to win. Where is he going to go? Is he inside? It makes much more that process for the offense, the entire offense pre-snap. We don't, BB doesn't like to do it as much. Mike Stoops liked to do it when he had guys, but gosh, Mike Stoops was paying 12 yards off everybody these last couple of years before he left town. D line guys, I think it's the first game they don't get a 90. We didn't get enough sacks. By the way, Jaden Jackson is still killing people in the run game. I mean, killing people and all over the place. Those 4 D tackles are still playing damn good. I would say Dom is probably the least dominant. Jaden, Stone, Halton, Dom, those guys came to play, but it's not good enough. Marvin Jones missed the edge a couple times. They break the edge in the first half. Wine is playing well. Wine is there's a play where he has an opportunity to get the quarterback and forget about it. So when Wine misses, I'm like, God, I was mad at him. I'm like, God dang it, why you didn't get it? By the time I started seeing Kip and Powers and Heineke and RMT, everybody's missing. I'm like, oh, okay, that kid, that kid's a stud. I'm talking about the quarterback. D line, I still give him an 86, maybe even 87. They played hard. They played a ton of reps. They made a lot. Second half, the run game was dominated. The backer position, I think Kip solidified that he is the alpha, which we all knew. He should have been getting more reps all year. If Kobe got hurt, then that makes sense. Kobe made a great play early in the game. I want to say on the quarterback. No, he made it on Lacey. Owen and Samuel. Samuel just feels to me like the game hasn't slowed down for him yet. He's thinking. Here's the other thing I don't like, and this is the football nerd in me. I don't like when a guy who misses 2 plays, which the typical fan is not going to see, right? The everyday Sooner fan is not going to notice that Samuel was supposed to buzz the flats on 3rd and 7, and that's why they picked up 9 yards, and everybody blamed Peyton Bowen because he's playing 12 yards off. But then the next play, when he gets a tip or something, like he's like King Kong. I don't like that. I don't like players like that. That's an issue for me, right? And I see a little bit of that with Samuel, and you see the mental busts. He has mental busts or just the missed tackles. He's late to his fit, or he's not strong in his fit, and he misses. He's arm tackling, they break it. Looks like South Carolina is giving Bama some juice. Looks to me like. Oh, okay. Bama's up 7-3. Backers though, guys, adequate. 82. You guys agree with that? I think the backers are an 82. I know you guys are like, Mackie, stop talking about that. I want to talk about the scheme. I know, but we got to go through the positions groups. You're breaking down the field. By the way, I saw you talking some smack. I'm talking to Franklin Bishop. I see you, bro. Secondary. I want to break it into 2 separate groups because the DBs and then the safeties. The first half, again, I saw it again. Okay, so here we go. It's the first quarter. Defense is hanging, and I'm on Twitter like the defense is balling, and people are quickly telling me the defense sucks, Mikey. What the hell are you talking about? And I apologize. I said, okay, not balling, but they're still playing well. But anyway, it's the first quarter. They put trips to the field. They have the backside receiver. I think it's number 1. They run the slant. Gullery is there, makes the play. You guys remember that, right? Okay. This whole 22 starters thing. Well, you can't in a game like that, in my opinion, you can't afford to give away possessions. Well, 2 drives or 3 drives later, again, this game just gives me the vibe of like Kip getting a feel for the game, knowing where he needs to be if they're running their inside zone or some of their run fit stuff or their run game stuff. Gullery getting a feel for 3rd and medium. They're going to try that slant again, or they're going to run that in cut, or they're going to try that fade stop. They tried all kind of stuff on him. They ran the fade stop on him. They ran the fade on him. They ran the in cut on him. They ran the slant on him. Gullery was serving today. Did you guys notice there's a 3rd and medium? They're in trips to the field, backside, and all of a sudden we've got 12 in. And I don't have an issue with 12, but to me, it's just too easy to say on 3rd down, we're going to switch you out. If they get a first, we're going to put you back in. It's your possession, but we've got to have the best 11 on these key downs. To me, that just makes too much sense. We give up the third down conversion, and they just run the same slant that Gullery stopped 2 plays prior or 2 possessions prior. Like, and you know what I reconcile with myself. I said, we're in the portal age. We're in the NIL age. We're in the age where at any given week, Texas had 2 kids say, I'm out of here, like 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? I think they beat us. And then the next week, I think they beat Kentucky, and 2 dudes are like, I'm out. So I have to start to rationalize, like, these kids, they'll quit any given time. And so that part kind of sucks because that's a play where Gullery needs to be in. People are giving Gullery his props, and it's interesting because a few weeks ago, the same people, some of you were talking smack about Gullery. The people were saying the O-line was not the problem today, but the same people are the same ones, and that's why I say, like, the kid part, right, is the kid, the player. But that 22, we have got to be more intentional around when we're giving those kids reps, because I get it. And I think BV's doing a wise thing. And no, guys, I don't think we're going to go 6-6. Relax. No, I don't. I think we're going to have I think Missouri, LSU are games, Mizzou being at home and LSU being at home. Those are 2 games we better win. And I think we win one of the 2 between Tennessee and Bama. And don't let us beat Tennessee and all the chips go on Bama. I like our chances. Tuscaloosa or not. Bama is getting everything they can handle right now from South Carolina. The game is on one of my screens. So we not Chicken Little. Like, we're not going to be around here. Oh, we suck. No, we lost the game. There are things we need to clean up. My biggest issues are our offensive coordinator and our quarterback. It's my biggest issues. I am not going to sit here and act like Bama don't got issues. Tennessee don't got issues. So we'll just leave that where it is. Corners. Guillory played amazing. Eli likes to play off. You guys remember last year I said that? And I get it, right? He's a 5'9" short arm dude. When I say short arm, it's relative to most guys that are playing the DB position. So he wants to be able, I think one of his skill sets, one of his attributes is his ability he does have good instincts. I think I've said it the entire year. To me, it just makes too much sense for Eli to be the nickel. Now we've got injuries now, right? Gentry's hurt, and I saw Jacoby get a couple reps, which I would play Jacoby more. But to me, Eli Bowen, I guarantee you, if that game got tight and they needed to do it, and Eli was in, they would have schemed up number 1 against Eli. They didn't really have to, right? The one possession where we were going to put pressure on them, Satania fumbles. Sucks. Safeties. So the way BV likes to run his defense, I would say it's probably 80-20 zone versus man. And he likes to do a matchup zone 1 versus 2 with the receivers, with the DBs. So what that essentially means is you're in zone, so eyes are on the football, but if somebody comes into your zone, unless somebody threatens behind you, just kind of hug up on them, right? It's a matchup zone. The problem is our safeties' instincts are lacking. Teams can get a lot off on the in cuts. If they get behind our backers, we're cooked. We're cooked. Did you guys see that beautiful throw? Chambliss throws third quarter, 3rd and long, like 3rd and 10, and they run the in cut across the formation. And you can see Chambliss is so small. He sees him they show the behind the camera view. So he sees him in the window before the center, and then he disappears. You can literally see him disappear because he's so short, in the angle they have, like his field view angle, he just throws it to the next window, and then the receiver runs right into it. Perfect pass. Boom. Like, that's execution. But you would like to have a safety robbing that. And I didn't see us rob a lot today, to be honest with you guys. Anybody who's a football guy, did you guys see a lot of robbing? I felt like the idea was a true shell where the safety stayed over the top. The woulda shoulda game, CBBCK. It's cute, bro. You feel me? Like, what we would do against what everybody else is like, that's lame, man. You know what I'm saying? If you guys, if I think you're an Ohio State fan, if y'all win, salute. But if you don't win, whatever, it has nothing to do with our game. What are we talking about? You don't know what they would score against Ohio State. You don't know. So unless they see each other in the playoffs, you're just kind of like beating your chest out on a YouTube deal. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of lame, bro. Keep it a buck with you. So yeah. Uh Safeties are a question in the pass game. Corners are inconsistent, I would say, at best in the pass game. I think Gullery's a guy who I think is showing as a freshman that he could be big time. I just feel like and again, this is a critique on the defense, and I don't have a lot of defensive critiques. The 22 is an issue, but you saw that they literally trimmed that down a ton, which I thought was very smart. Um, Maybe they don't trust the corners. I don't know what that is, but there's got to be more downs where on film teams know OU will just play lock man and they have faith that their guys can make the play. Again, I played receiver. I played K-State. When you play K-State and they play that bracket defense where there's no air, zero air. He's taking every inch pre-snap off the line of scrimmage. He's big. He's got a wide stance. He's cockeyed a little bit so he can turn and run. And his idea is to put his hands on you. Hypo has no idea how you're going to win your rep. You just got to figure out a way to win. So he doesn't know exactly where the ball's going to go. He has to throw it to the open area once you win. We've got to have that. If every time we give the offense the ability to see that, even if we're playing like kind of a man, we're like 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, the receiver's getting a free release. It's apples and doorknobs when it comes to the quarterback's confidence of where the receiver is going to end up and being able to put the ball there. And I don't mind that we play off a lot because it complements our defense, but there's gotta be those 5, 7, 10 downs. Maybe it's 5 times a game where we're like, yo, especially if we got a Jacoby and a Guillory on either side. We got 6', 6'1" corners with long arms and both can run. Yo, we gotta tell receivers like we locking your ass up. Quarterback, make a great play. Not quarterback throw it to the spot because Samuel didn't buzz the flats and we're all offense off. And I agree. Our safeties have average speed. I think they have good speed for safeties, but average speed for guys trying to, right, make big plays. They're not slow safeties by any stretch of the imagination. But you're right. They're not an explosive guy where if somebody gets a step, somebody can go, how come? We haven't seen them catch anybody. So is there somebody talking a bunch of smack? Oh, somebody's in here talking smack. Who is it? Oh, it's a Tennessee guy. Is that what it is? Tennessee, we got you guys on the schedule, and y'all know my quarterback is the HBC. I'm not going to that game. They wanted me to go, but could you imagine me speaking to the Tennessee team when we play us, and I got to be on their sideline? I told them like, yo, I'm wearing a OU hat if I'm coming to that game. I'll wear whatever their orange is. I have. They gave me swag. Oh, I'm rocking the swag so long as they're not playing us. Hell yeah, I'm rocking the swag. They gave me some nice swag. Yeah. I wouldn't go to that game, guys. Nah. I wouldn't do that because I'm going to be going for OU. Corners. Listen, well, Watkins whooped our ass, but their big time receivers weren't the reason we lost. It was the quarterback, guys. He threw great balls for one, and he picked up a ton of 30 medium for two. And then their offensive scheme, they put them in position to pick up manufacture first downs when they needed them. How many first downs did we manufacture? We manufactured the touchdown, right? When Mateer kind of, you know, delays, and you can even see him do this. He told Satania like, "Hey, bro, keep going." He throwing the ball, boom, he takes it 60, 70, whatever it is. But outside of that, how many big plays did we manufacture? How many plays did the OC manufacture? Easy plays. Besides turning around and giving the ball to X-Rob in the second half. There weren't many. Right? There weren't many. So corners, I'm gonna give them an 80 in a loss. Safeties, 70, 68. We lost. But I do want to give kudos to Guillory. I'd say Guillory is definitely my Guillory and Kip will be my gorilla nuts player of the game on defense, and then on offense it absolutely has to be X-Rob. I absolutely think that something needs to be said. I didn't say this on the offensive line. How about how did they say his name? Fodge? We didn't say his name a ton. right tackle. Ladies and gentlemen, we may have our book in tackles for the next 3 years. It's not a bad thing to have freshman tackles in the SEC face their lumps their freshman year, understand what it feels like to go against those guys and then be sophomores. Foj. Yeah, Foj. It's not a bad thing for those two guys to get their lumps this year, right? I believe we still have a chance at the playoff. So because we still have a chance at the playoff, our schedule, we went out, we will have won more top 25 games than anybody else, especially if Texas, depending on what Texas and Michigan do to you in the year. Um, 2 losses for us, we're not out. 3 losses for us, we're effectively not out, depending, if we don't want any of those losses to be to, I think LSU is going to be unranked after today. Yeah. And we lost to the higher ranked team by what, 8? So, we'll probably be in the mid 20s, maybe teens, high teens, mid 20s. But I think LSU is going to be unranked. Mark my words. I believe A&M beats their tails. All right, let's get to what everybody wants to hear. Scheme. Coaching. I think there's 2 things to address. Number 1, it's BV. We have to. Somebody said call. Yeah, you're right. EPO too. Facts. We have to speak to BV as an OC, a DC, and a head coach because he plays both roles, right? He wears both hats. And I don't care if you don't buy it, and you guys might think I'm being nice, but I'm not. What they were able to do, especially with a very inept offensive scheme the first half, I just said it on X. What they were able to do versus that offense to me was good. Not gonna call it great. Third down killed us. But especially in the second half, what did they have? 22 at the half? What did they end up with? 36? Did they score 2 more touchdowns second half? Is that right? Or maybe or maybe 2 field goals, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion, something, right? But I want to say there were probably 4 or 5 possessions where we stopped them, including the quarterback. Okay, so they scored 14 in the second half. Was it 22 or 25 at the half? I thought it was 22-10 at half, right? Well, they're not going to play Hawkins. You guys saw that, right? The one play that Mateer went out, they brought Newbauer in. So I think Hawkins is legitimately going to shirt. The question we got to ask ourselves, since somebody brought that up in the comments, is what sense does it make to red shirt if Mateer comes back? I don't think there's any way in heaven Mateer thinks he's going to the NFL. The way Mateer's playing, I don't think there's any way in heaven that he feels that his next stop is going to be there. So it might be a situation where Hawkins, right, like, yo, dog, I want to play. Something to think about. But our defensive scheme was good enough to win. Can we all agree that on defense we play well enough to win? By the way, let me give you guys a dose of reality. And I think a lot of you guys understand that. The dose of reality is, in the league we're in now, sometimes you just got to go get the dub. There were years where Bama come to mind, Georgia come to mind during their dynasty years, right? Obviously, Bama's was much longer than theirs. They had hiccup games. They had games against an LSU. They had games against Kentucky's. They had games against South Carolina's where the other team played well, made plays, scored tugs. At the end, it's about the dub. It's the dub. If we find a way to win that game, I don't give a damn if we're still the number 1 team with third down conversion and, you know what I'm saying, most negative plays. And I don't care. Right? What I care about is, did we find a way to win that game? And did the guys we depend on the most come through when we needed the most? And I spoke about the quarterback and his impact or lack thereof, his effectiveness or lack thereof. It's time to speak about the offensive coordinator. BV as a DC, you can't give him less than 85. I would say he gets penalized for no turnovers. That's problematic. He definitely gets penalized for third down, but more often than not, he has got the play queued up. It's the quarterback. Tell me he doesn't look like Russell Wilson at Wisconsin. The quarterback's as good an athlete as every single backer we have, as every single safety we have. Our corners are probably faster than him, but he's as good an athlete as all those guys. So 50-50, he could possibly run, he could possibly throw, and quarterbacks have separate protections. There's separate protections for quarterback. That is a huge difference. We thought our quarterback would have some of that. He doesn't. The truth, right? In the SEC, we're playing against the best talent in America. He doesn't. He doesn't. He does not scare D ends. Yeah, by the way, I don't think he would scare RMT on our team. I think RMT's like, oh, I got him. Kip Lewis, Powers, Heineke, RSJ. I didn't see Peyton get the business, but all those guys got the business from the quarterback. Trinidad Chambliss, all of them. And it's no diss to them. It's like when we had Kyler. Now, granted, Kyler's faster than him and a bigger arm. But guys, remember, Kyler almost single-handedly kept us in the game against Bama, when the dynasty Bama. So that's why I say to everybody, like, the defense didn't just suck. That quarterback's the best quarterback that we're going to play the rest of the year. Throwing the ball, running the ball, and then the threat of either on any given play and in a scheme that puts him in position to be successful. So I give the defense an 85. The scheme. Multiple looks. We won third downs. We got lots of pressure. We had them out of their sorts. We took the momentum. They by the way, the play where I think it's Grayson Halton. He's scrambling and Grayson cleans him up. And the guys even say, oh man, as a quarterback, you don't want to cut up in that. And then the next play, if you guys notice, the next play, it's a bad snap. I think he's still woozy. The ball is low, but I think he's feeling that hit. And it's like, yo, I don't want no, I don't want no parts of whatever's coming this down. He just took a knee. Go back and watch it. Yeah, Chambliss was killing. I said it 4 weeks ago. Like, guys, Ole Miss, the backup's better. By the way, we complain about our OC. How about Lane? How about they get all the way to the 4-yard line and then he brings the other dude in for 2 plays to run 2 plays that the regular quarterback could have run? Like, what are we doing? He saves a possession. They could have scored a touchdown on that. Okay. Defense 85. Offense, guys, I was ready to give him a 40. In the third quarter, he made some changes, but I just hate a safety. Has to happen first. And then I hate at the end, he goes away from what works. Guys, I think it's a 50 at tops. I think the worst position group or stakeholder in this game was the offensive coordinator. For sure. Mateer was bad. But it doesn't make sense that X-Rob doesn't get to really touch if their philosophy is go without a hot hand, they've got to give both guys a chance to see who's hot for the day. I believe Blaylock needs to roll out there first based upon the last game. Okay, yeah. But they can't, it should not take a half for X-Rob to get meaningful snaps, because what if he could have done that a whole quarter sooner? Right? If by their philosophy is we're going to take hot hand, then it should be like 2 possessions and then we're going to try the other guy. But I hate the philosophy overall anyway. If you got 2 guys, run 2 guys. Again, I hate to keep using Georgia, but watch Georgia. Georgia runs their one guy at you and he's going to give you some business, and then they got an even bigger dude coming the next time and he's coming to give you business too. It's not like Blaylock has it, nobody else gets a turn, and then somebody has to come in cold. Thank God X-Rob did something, because they probably would have sat him back down. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is situational football. I already brought it up. The ball's on the 2-yard line. You cannot run some type of delay where you're pulling people play side and defensive linemen can run through. Crossface. Situational football. We've got 3rd and 1. We talked about it, right? 3rd and 1, we literally just run dive. Dive, inside zone, whatever you want to call it. We have no action, no misdirection, no motion, no formation, nothing. Then we run another 4th down and we run a double move, meaning the tight ends line up on this side, then they run to the other side, and then somebody goes across the formation. I know you guys are kind of like, yeah, Mackie, but isn't that what you're asking for? No. In the confines of our offense, On 1/3 and 1, we just run our base formation, ace formation, and we run dive. On the other one, we're running like a trick play. Maybe it's not a trick play, but it's not a play we run in our playbook. So red alarms are going off everywhere. Well, Mackie, why would you say that? Because we're under center. We're under center. 82's in the game at tight end or a receiver. The tight ends move from one side of the formation, then they move to the other side of the formation, then we run motion. That's telling everybody in America this is some type of something that they're not normally doing. So that's not what I mean by misdirection. What I mean by misdirection is we line up an ace. We have Burks doing orbit. He runs across the formation, stops at the backside guard, and then runs back. Are they running some type of flood to the flat real quick? Right now, the defense got to think. The quarterback turns around, and X Rob is acting like he's getting the ball. Did he give him the ball? Who has the ball? Right? We've got the tight end acting like he's in a wham block, and now he's leaking backside. Are you guys ready? Do you guys know what I just called? Does anybody know what I just called? It's the play Ole Miss ran to score a touchdown. But you guys are like, oh, you're making stuff up. No, I'm not. It's actually a really good scheme. It's what Ole Miss ran when they scored the touchdown. The backside running back, the guy they hit earlier on the 4th and half a yard, it's the same play. The same running back is offset to the backside of the play. He runs across the formation, leaks to the boundary side. Quarterback turns around, so the defense doesn't know where the ball is. By the time the quarterback turns, by the way, we almost sack him. I think it's Wine or Heineke or RNT. They're coming. The pocket is collapsing. The quarterback jumps because they've got the tight end. He falls down. If you guys watch, the tight end falls, gets up, runs across the formation, and that's how he walks in the end zone. Guys, that's called a scheme. That's a set. They ran the same play earlier on 4th and half a yard, but they hit the up back. So what does our defense do? Oh, I saw this play. Let's go. He's going to leak. We follow the leak. By the way, you see Peyton Bowen or RSJ like telling Heineke like that was your guy, and Heineke's like, dang. But Heineke's instincts tell him to do what happened last time. Wow, that's crazy how that all worked out, because that's literally the play I'm talking about that our defense did a phenomenal job the first time and they almost stopped it. Lane went back to that same play but ran an extra piece off of it. He told the tight end, we used to call it feint. Tell the tight end to feint. By the way, Trent used to do it hella good. We'd run action this way. Trent would just fall down. The action would go the other way. He would get up and run across the formation, wide open. They ran that guys. That's a quality scheme. I don't care if it's Beatenbo's line. I don't care if it's DeMarco's running backs. I don't care if it's Jones, EJ's receivers. That play set those kids up for success. But on the okay, Satania fumbles. We hold them to a field goal. By the way, shout out to the defense. The first play after that, by the way, first play after that, we go 3 and out. Holy freaking shit. By the way, we don't even try to run the ball. Oh, we do QB run. Okay, here we go. Now you're gonna get me started again. I forgot. That's what it is. That is what we do. That drive, like that drive, like I totally forgot. But after we were up 5, they punt the ball. Satania catches it. He gets about 25 yards. He jumps. Don't ask me why. He jumps in the air. He fumbles. The D holds again. They kick a field goal. We get the ball back again. We go 3 and out. QB run, and then I don't know what the scheme is because material's just kind of whatever, right? And even gosh dang it, even the I forgot his name again, but the ex-Bama quarterback who's calling the game, he is just like, why aren't they running their quick game? And you know what else he's saying? He's saying, yo, there's 5 in the box. There's 5 in the box. They have 4 guys and 1 backer in the box. Everybody else is playing the flats. You know why they're playing the flats? Because we have shown we are competent at quick game. Makes too much sense. And we don't go back to it. Irks my soul. We don't run the football. I posted on Twitter. I said, run the football. And then somebody else at McElroy, yeah. Somebody else said with X-Rob, because of course we run the football with the quarterback. He's not fast enough. So, by the way, I think Mateer's a good kid, and when he's got his confidence, he's a dude. But he did not play well today. But whether he played well enough today or not, he's not fast enough to be a threat. If I'm BV, I tell Arbuckle, hey, bro, we're gonna tell Mateer he's a drop back QB now. He runs to scramble. We're not featuring him to run the ball. When's the last time he's had a successful run? He had one really good one going, and that was a called run. So I'm not gonna hate that one. That was a called run. The one he gets like 17 yards up their sideline. For sure. We're like leading. It's some type of sweep or power. I won't even say we pull a guard, or maybe it's the tight end going across the formation. I don't remember. But aside from that one, name the other one. None against Auburn, none against South Carolina, and this one today. Like the SEC, it's not working. Stop doing it. Run X Rob, Blaylock, right? And stop wasting those downs because we go 3 and out. But then what does the defense do again? The defense forces a punt. Guys, that's how it played out. We're down 5. Satania gets the ball, fumbles. They kick a field goal. They're up 8, kick it to us. We go 3 and out. I'm like, oh, shit, we lost. We punt the ball. We stop them. They punt the ball. Right? Like, we still have a chance. And then we run X Rob. He gets like 7 yards. And then we're running like progression stuff. Isn't that crazy? Last week I was like, I wonder what kind of progression stuff we have. I wonder if like Arbuckle really does listen and like, yeah, let me show them we have more progression stuff, because we didn't need progression stuff today. We needed quick game. We needed to run the football. We actually had shown we could run the ball, so we could have stayed in that space. We could have plan A, run the ball, plan B, quick game off of it, or action off of it. Why don't we have a play? I've asked this a million times. Is there a play in the playbook where we put the ball in X Rob's belly and we pull it out and we let the backers jump and we just hit Kanik behind him? It's literally Pee-wee. It's called tight end pop pass. I know everybody here knows tight end pop pass. Like, how do we not have a pop pass? When X Rob is making those types of runs, the backers have to step up. Oh, you guys want to hear the other one? That's what it was. Slot fade. Y'all see them run the slot fade off the change, off the first play after the fumble. Did y'all see that? Watkins, slot fade. Who remembers the days when we used to kill people with the slot fade? Hurt my feelings, man. I just really appreciate watching the game and seeing the things that Lane, and I think Charlie Weiss's son is the OC, and they say that he calls most of the plays. But I appreciated watching that game, and that's why I give our defense props, because guys, they had a tough task today. What the defense was asked to stop was at least 3 times harder than what Ole Miss's defense was asked to stop. And then you compound that with a quarterback who can beat you. He was a better athlete or equal athlete to everybody except our corners. Like, that was legit. Our game plan is it's not good. Watching the game, I can't name a play that we ran that set up another play down the road. Watching the game, I saw us for 1.5 quarters be pretty terrible at running the ball, and then for another 1.5 quarters be really good at running the ball and then go away from it. That's problematic. When I watched the game, when we needed to get some momentum in the pass game, we started going to the short, quick game, and then we went away from it. That's problematic for me. When I saw the game, our best player, who was supposed to be John Mateer, missed wide open guys. That's problematic. When I saw the game, our offensive line was trash. I'm speaking on behalf of what all the people say, and then all of a sudden they weren't. Our run game was trash, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. Right? Do you guys understand how, like, all of those variables, coincidences, whatever you want to call them, like, does that not tell you there's no true identity? Or let me just reframe it. It tells me there's no true identity. And I'll add context because let's be real. Arbuckle's not getting fired, right? So like this isn't a like fire Arbuckle. Arbuckle's going to get a chance to have an entire offseason and everything with knowing the players and the teams and the tendencies and the returners and all that, and having a recruiting class coming. I think he's got his quarterback coming in, the kid from Texas. So all of that is what it is, but we trying to win these games, right? We need to win these, and to see our guys be in positions to, I mean, let's just call it a spade a spade. It wasn't as if their defense was just so phenomenal that it just like stopped everything we wanted to do. Well, that's not true because we threw the ball and we wanted to throw the ball early on, and we run the ball. We ran the ball and we wanted to run the ball late in the game, and we got quick game when we started running it. We just went away from it. Like we kind of could do what we wanted to do. They have their D line. They're zero on their three technique. Their tackle and their nose are good players. NFL dudes. Those guys are gonna play in the league. Shaq, I think one of the guys' nickname is Shaq and Jenkins or something, whatever. But yeah, guys, the offense doesn't scare anybody. Our receivers, you know, it sucks. And some of you older guys remember this. My freshman year, we were like, by the way, they had a nickname for us. There's a newspaper. I wonder. I have my scrapbook right here. There was a newspaper article about us called the Fab Five. Five freshman receivers can't hold us. And they took us to the airport and they gave us suits and we all got to wear suits and they called us I forgot what they called it, but they called us the Fab Five and we all did like a video shoot, the whole thing. Okay. And then 2000, obviously we win the Natty. We're all sophomores. And then 2001, all of a sudden we're run of the mill receivers, or the scheme and the quarterback changed and the same opportunities that were available before were no longer there. So I say that to say, like, I don't know what Burks and Co would look like. Let's just say in the offense that Ole Miss runs, right? Everyone tells me Giovanni Gibson's a stud. I haven't seen it, and part of the reason I haven't seen it is because the quarterback has no chemistry with him. Can't get him the football. So, oh please, yeah, guys, you see, you did that on purpose because he knows. I won same exact personnel. Lincoln Riley's ROC. We win that game by 14, and Lincoln Riley's talking shit in the press conference. 100%. I am not saying Hibble sucked, but I am saying Hibble wasn't hypeful. Don't do that. See, y'all always don't do that. So I'm glad you put that so you don't put words in my mouth. Don't do that. Don't do that. Am I being funny with DM developing? I don't think DeMarco's developing. I think it's kind of a knock on him for not using X Rob earlier. Who saw the Alabama game last year? In what healthy world do we believe X Rob doesn't give us a chance to be physical and win games? What are we talking about? Like, we saw him against Bama. We saw him against LSU in the first time. I think he got hurt. We saw him against Mizzou. In what healthy world do we think he forgot how to do that in a conference where the competition improved? No, I think, yep, somebody said, I don't know about pushing Odd, more so pushing Barnes. I think guys were bumped up. I heard there were bumps and bruises, but I bet you if you asked X Rod what was he ready to play against Temple, he would have told you he would have been ready to get reps before the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he for sure would say, oh, I could have carried the ball 20 times that game. So no, I'm not passing on DeMarco. I'm not surprised that talent is shining. I will tell you this. I didn't get into an argument, but I was having discourse with an individual who says DeMarco's recruiting has been phenomenal. He had the number one running back. Does recruiting matter if the kid can't see the field? And in the same way we say that, then we got to give him props for X Robs. But then if we're giving him props for X Rob, could anybody have recruited X Rob? Kids from Midwest City, Oklahoma, same high school as Jay Hunt, my roommate, right? So again, the coach has to go get the ingredients and has to get them to produce. You guys remember that story? Who did I want? I saw Tatum's film, but y'all know good and well. Listen, I taught and coached at Cedar Hill. I know the I-20 corridor extremely well. Caden Durham was a kid that was a beast as a sophomore at dunk. Y'all knew what that was. So I think Blaylock was a 4-star, Aaron, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Blaylock was a 4-star from Texas, not a 3-star. Um, anyway, guys, as we close down 10 thoughts, this is actually an hour and 40 minutes. I'm not going to do some Q&A. I am going to do some chalk talk. I will make a post on X, or you guys can put it when I end this. I will maybe make a description that says what questions do you guys want to chalk. I'll pick 4 or 5 plays. I'll pull them up. I'll have them queued up on the screen so that we can see them, and then I'll walk you guys through them. I think the plays that really matter. I know I went to school with Durham's mom, bro. Yeah, and I talked to her during the recruiting session. She absolutely wanted him to come to OU initially. He did take a visit to LSU, and she was like, "Mac, I think it's over." I mean, I was literally talking to her like legit about the process. We kind of slow played him because we wanted Tatum. I thought Durham was a better fit for the offense. Um, Back to what I was saying. I'll queue up 4 or 5 plays. You guys let me know the plays that you guys want to queue up. I will go back and forth between the whiteboard. So I'll draw stuff up on the whiteboard so you guys can kind of see. I want to show you guys that Samuel play because a lot of people were talking about the defense and it's really the backer. He's supposed to get to his spot and he doesn't. I want to show you guys the 4th down plays and the 3rd down plays because I want you guys to see what our defense is having to overcome in order to make a play versus what their defense is having to overcome to make a play. And then I want to show you guys the whole throw that he misses to Giovanni. I think if he makes this one throw, we're in overtime. Or we have the opportunity to go for 2. How about the 2-point conversion? By the way, you gotta give Arbuckle props. Draws it up. Unbalanced. If you guys go see the play, we're in unbalanced. Tight ends over. He's covered up. Um, they do that so that they can put Burks in the backfield. He goes in motion. He runs the overload flat. It's wide open. And it's to Mateer's throwing arm. It's not like he had to like throw across his body. Nope. It's literally a 7-yard pitch and catch. Yeah, and everybody talks about my X address is D_Mac13, I believe. I think. I think it is. I don't know. That's kind of crazy, huh? I'm sorry. Maybe it might be D.Mac13. Somebody put it in the thing. Whoever knows my thing, put it down there. I don't know it. But yeah, I'll cue those plays up. We'll talk about them 30, 45 minutes. You guys know if I say that, that means 45, 60 minutes. Yeah, and we'll lick our wounds. I watched this game, and of course, my biggest concern is QB and OC. But I watch this game and I see guys emerging. Defense is going to be okay. Running back, I think we got 2 of them. Running back, I think we've got 2 of them. That'll be okay. I don't even know what the other 2 can do. I don't know what Tatum can do. I heard Tatum's healthy now. Tatum just is kind of slight for me. And playing at Tatum to me looks like a guy that if he was at like Arizona State or like I don't know, Texas Tech, probably will ball. Right. I think he's got good vision and he's a tough little runner. I remember him, but I just think in the SEC with us not having a dominant O-line, I don't know how effective he'd be for us. I wouldn't be surprised if he put it out. Oregon runs power football, bro. Believe it or not, they run some quick hitter stuff, but generally their running backs run through traffic. They'll generally have a fast guy, and I don't think Tatum's a home run hitter. I think he's a 4.55 guy. Maybe he can clock something faster, but he doesn't. His football speed isn't extremely fast. Yeah, guys, I think we are who we are at quarterback. And I just don't think optically we can even afford to do anything other than play with Mateer. I don't think, year one, no one else even knows the offense as well. I said it last week after a victory, so people don't call me a hater, but I said I think we have a middle of the road quarterback for our conference. Yeah, I don't think our quarterback is a difference maker on our behalf. Especially, and again, I'm watching this Georgia Tech highlights, especially when we don't have a offense that manufactures successful plays for him. He's got to work very hard to make the plays he makes. And it's not like we give him easy throws, easy reads, chunk plays, schemed up plays where we've got the defense and all he has to do is really just complete the pass. He doesn't get a lot of those. It's really a hard blue collar effort every time. And again, I'll say it one last time. That's squarely on the offensive coordinator. What is he, 29? Right? Is that right? Arbuckle's 29? Young guy. Who knows? His best days are clearly are probably ahead of him. Hopefully, he just didn't have a spark, and then coming here, it kind of filled up for him. But this is my last thought, and I'll let you guys know. I agree with somebody said. I believe the stage that is Oklahoma and the stage that is the SEC might be a bit more than either one of those guys could chew. I'm just telling you. My freshman year, OU Texas was bananas. Notre Dame in South Bend was bananas. Like I was kind of like, by the time 2000 came, where we playing? Let's go get it. You can't hold me. And I do think there's something to Mateer being in that OU Texas game, and I think there's something to playing these big time SEC opponents in these high stake games. Everybody's not built for that type of environment. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying the level of success or lack thereof in games like this has shown. Yeah, somebody said welcome to the SEC, right? Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys for logging on today. If you have a play, and obviously the people who aren't live, guys, we've got like 700 comments, which is wild. Oh, by the way, guys, a couple super chats. I'm sorry, my bad. Hold on, let me just throw some love to some people. I am always grateful. I don't care if you give me $1. I do this for free. I love to do it. It's freaking amazing. Barry is not available, so I said, screw that. I'm gonna jump on anyway. But a couple of people made contributions. $1.99 from who's that? Norman Riverwind. Okay, Riverwind Tornado. $2. I appreciate it. Yep. Somebody said Mentir nut check, and then one other one. My silly behind. My bad. Here it is. EJ Bailey. Why do we go away from this? Man, great question. Great question. I don't know why we found that the quick passing game worked. Actually, I do know why. I don't know why, but here's my speculation. If you're still on, EJ, and I think that's a great question. Here's my speculation. If you guys go back and again, the game is gonna you guys will see it. They're in a six-man box. They're in a 42, and we start running quick game. And then their changeup was to go to a 41, which means a five-man box, which our changeup should have just been running the football. It's actually very simple. Yep. They're in a 42. We start hitting them with the spot routes and the slant stops, hitch routes, in and outs, right? Slant returns. They go to a 41 so that they can take away, it's a cover 5. They've got 5 guys across in the short zone instead of just 4. And as soon as they do that, we just need it shouldn't even be a play. When we see a 5-man box and we've got our lineman plus our quarterback plus our running back, we need to run the ball. And we don't. And what they tried to do, which I get, is we ran QB draw stupid because he's slow. We should have just ran running back quick hitter. Get him into the second level of defense, like we did when he was getting chunks early in the play or in the game. We run some slow developing thing, which allow the overhangs to get in the play. Now the 5-man box has 7 people in it. They've got 7 for our 6, and we're getting tackled in the backfield. Numbers game, angles game, smart man's game. Great question. Looks like we got one more. How much do we need to get the points? How much money? We got to step our NIL game up for sure. Here's so it sucks is in this game, if you get lucky with a coordinator or you get lucky with a quarterback, they cover up a lot of that. What we need to do is, I mean, Chandler's didn't cost him a ton of money, right? Think about that. That kid was pennies on the dollar. And I wouldn't say he's playing better than Jackson Dart, but he's playing damn good football. I think he's the first Ole Miss quarterback to throw for 256 games in a row, first 6 games, which is better than Dart did. So there it is, right? I think, and it kind of sucks for us, and I'm assuming here, but I feel like Mateer is entrenched. I don't think his position would be in question next year simply because of his coach and his last year. And you're right, the negative recruiting of OU. I don't know if they're going to invite him to transfer or not or something like that. And that's hyperbole, right? I don't even want to go down that road. Kid had a bad game. Kid, kid is got a lot of football ahead of him. But yeah, the quarterback is such a key position. I say it all the time. It's the biggest game changer in the game. It's quarterback. We appreciate you. Remember, AJ, I appreciate you, brother. $5. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody else said, what is somebody else? Serious, how much do we need to raise. I mean, the word on the street is we had like a $6 million budget, and then they talked about Ohio State being like the 10 or something like that $1 million team. I mean, that's a $5 million variance, and of course, there's rumors of much more. But like, I think that math speaks for itself. I think with our budget, making wise decisions is good enough, and our recruiting. And I think there's going to be something said about this era of football of like teams buying ships. I think there's going to be something said about like, teams taking themselves to the Texas Techs of the world. Texas Tech is probably going to make the playoff, but if the game ever changes away from this, where it's just a free for all, and teams have to do it off of merit and history and things of that nature, if Texas Tech wins anything, I think people will say, "Oh, that was the era where you could buy championships," and that's my opinion. I don't know. So I'll just leave that there. It doesn't change the fact that I want to win now, and that we've spent millions of dollars. I think $2 million just on the QB alone. Another what, $600,000 to $800,000 on the running back who not seeing the field. Right? That means that money that he's being paid is going to have to get flipped to an X Rob or a Blaylock next year for those guys to want to stick around. So yeah, I want to win. You guys are the best. 150. I think we had 197 people on at one point, which is crazy. Guys, like, subscribe, follow the content. I am going to start doing content on my own YouTube channel. That way I don't have to wait. I can just jump on if I need to. I know a lot of people have been asking me to do it. Obviously, the Barry and Max show won't go anywhere, but if the people say they want more, I will. And I don't want to have to interrupt or um, I don't want to have to inconvenience Barry and the things that he's doing. But you guys are the best. I appreciate you. It's still Boomer Sooner. Still love my school. Don't hate on BV to me. I think he's doing an admirable job. The offense has got to get picked up. He will be held responsible for it eventually. But right now, we've got a young OC that's trying to learn his way. And we got a quarterback who's just not playing very well. Yeah. See you guys next week. I may try to chalk tomorrow. Sunday is going to be a pretty light day for. Oh no, it's not. I'll probably do Monday or Tuesday. Let me know the plays you guys want. Post them in the comments here, or post them in my my Twitter, and then the 2 or 3 or 4 that I like. If you could do timestamp too, that would be even better. Hey Mackie, this play first quarter, this much on the TV version. I already have the game recorded. I can go find it, and then I can cue those up. Have a good day. Hopefully everybody else who's on here talking smack, hopefully your team loses. Screw you guys. God bless. Take care. All you guys.